everyone, it's Alana and welcome back to my channel for another video. So today's video is all about spending the day with me. I will be competing Ella and Star in the dressage today. So Star will be doing his novices to help with his regionals qualifications, and Ella will be doing her first advanced medium since she lost her eye. So I'm really excited, really nervous, don't know how it's gonna go, but either way I'm determined to have a good day. And get ready guys, because it'll be emotional, because if it goes well I'll cry, if it goes bad I'll cry, if it goes middling I will still cry. So yeah, we're in for one today. But first of all, because this is a spend the day with me, today I'm doing a little photo shoot in some pure outfits sent from my breeches. So I'm going to be in all three outfits that they've sent me. I get to keep one, so guys, let me know which outfit you think I should keep. So yeah, let's get into it, let's see all the outfits and let's get going. So I'm not normally one that likes doing anything on the morning of a show day. I get way too stressy for this sort of thing, but my makeup was done and I wasn't riding until later, so I was like, why not? So this is outfit one. I loved the striped jumper, and the hat with the breeches was so super cute. I just felt totally adorable in this. Then outfit two was a good old-fashioned roll neck. I love these, they're perfect for layering up in the winter and it's just cracking. And then lastly I was trying out a bit of the vestrum, and I love the colour of these breeches. They were so nice. So what was your favourite outfit? 1, 2 or 3? Right kiddos, consider panic mode officially entered. So I've taken the pictures. I'm on at 1:15 and it is currently, what time is it? 11 minutes past 12, so I've got literally an hour to plait Star up and get him looking good, get me changed, so let's go! Alright everyone, I am all dressed. Mum has been excellent helping me get Star ready, so I'm going to check over his tack, because obviously when somebody else has tacked up your horse, you should check it, but if anything goes wrong today, I can blame it on Mum, because she tacked him up. Excellent! So yes, about to go in, get warmed up. Not giving him a massive warm up today because he's not clipped and it is very sunny, so I don't want him to get too worked up, too hot, too sweaty. We will still be sweaty anyway regardless, but you know, it's a thought that counts. Don't want him doing too much. Got 2 tests and hopefully we just get that 68% that we need to qualify, but we shall see.
You're gonna be so what?
So super cool and so super trendy.
Does Star know this?
Yeah, he's up for it. You told me so.
You didn't realise I was filming.
No, I didn't know you were filming. Oh, sorry, Star. Good job you're not spicy. So I think today I just really had to try my best to relax, and sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. What is most important is that you have a good time, and whether you actually achieve that is always a really good question. So I spent the entire day stressing so much about Ella and what we were doing later on that I actually didn't ride Star nearly as well as I normally do. But the main thing is that I had a nice time on him and that he gave me a nice feel, because he is genuinely just such a good, sweet and genuine boy. I absolutely adore him. So this is me just warming him up now. I'm giving him a nice little trot around. You can already see that I could do with getting him a little bit more forward, a little bit more springy, because he's looking quite long and strung out. But to be fair, this is the warm-up, so you don't want to go straight into competition frame straight away. So I'm just doing some loops away from the side here, and that's to help with his suppleness and getting him going nicely off each leg. Then I'm giving him his first canter, and I just felt like me and him weren't connecting as well as we normally do today, and I think that is down to the fact that I just did not have my head in the game whatsoever. But regardless of the fact, even when we don't have our head in the game, or not even when I don't have our head in the game, he still goes absolutely so sweetly for me. He's such a good boy. So he's cantering around nicely there, and we're doing the loops in the canter as well, and that just makes sure that he's nice and supple through his body, and that's me just doing a leg heel back to the side. So you know me guys, I like doing a bit of lateral work in my warm-up. So this is me walking over with Megan and Amy now, and we're ready to start the test. But what I didn't know was that I was actually running a little bit late, so we do miss the first part of my test. But for my centre line, I scored a 6.5, and that was because I lost the straightness towards the end. And then for trotting round, we scored a 7, and then for our serpentine 3 loops, we got 6.5, and that's because it could be more supple, and we've got to watch our roundness on the turns. And then next up, we've got between C and M a transition to working canter, and then B circle right 20 metres diameter. We scored a 6.5 for this. That's because his transition was fair, but it could be more balanced, and the judge wanted him a bit more off the shoulder on the circle. So that's where I need to put in a few more half halts and really get him operating that hind end. Then BAE, so basically around the bottom end of the arena, we've got to canter round. We scored a 6.5 for this, and that's because we lost a bit of the contact at times, which you can see right there, and he was on his shoulders. So something I definitely need to work on is make sure that I'm doing lots of half halts to really get him sit up. And then just before H, we've got a half circle right 15 metres diameter returning to the track at K, and we scored a 6.5 for this, and that's because it was slightly large in the half 15 metre circle and she wanted more engagement. So that's completely my fault. If ever you lose points for accuracy, that is on the rider. Then for the transition to working trot, we scored a 6, which you can guess why, it's because we fell into the trot. And then we've got another serpentine. Now this one we scored a 7 for, and as you can see, we're keeping the contact a little bit more. I've got him going a little bit more forward, and he's looking a little bit more on his hind end, which is nice. So the suppleness did improve in that second serpentine, which is cracking. Then we've got our transition to canter again, and then we've got circle left 20 metres diameter. Now our circle left, obviously he likes his left canter more because we scored a 7 for that, which was really nice. And it just all looks a little bit more together than the right canter. Now, as you know, every horse and every rider will be one-sided, so that's where I have to recognise that we just need to work on that for a little bit more for next time. Then we got to canter around the bottom end again, and we scored a 6.5 for this, and that's because he needs to be rounder and off the shoulders. So as you can see, guys, there is a pattern here, which is good because I know exactly what to work on and where I need to improve. Then for our half circle left 50 metres diameter, we scored a 7, and that's because it was a better shape and there was more engagement. So already with me just improving that accuracy, I've brought that score up. Then for our transition to working trot, we scored a 6.5, and that's because the contact could be better and it could be more balanced. And then for our medium trot, we scored a 6.5. That's because we lost the balance in the rain and the steps were a little safe. But to be fair, our medium trots are a work in progress, as I say every time. So I was actually really quite happy with that. If it's anything higher than a 6, I'm happy. Then for the transition to medium walk, and then the medium walk, we scored a 6.5 for this, and we could have scored higher had I just given him a little bit more freedom. So that's where I need to move my hips more, get him working more, get him using those steps more, because his party piece is his walk. So that's where you can see that my head is just not in the game, because he normally scores 8s for his walk, so that is totally on me. Then we've got the medium walk and transition to working trot. We scored a 6.5 for this because once again he's on his shoulders, so I'm really failing to make sure that I'm giving them the half halts and making sure that he's on his hind end. Then for our stretchy trot, we scored a 7, which was really nice. We actually scored better than his walk, which is quite funny. And then we've got turn down the centre line, and then G halt and mobility salute. We scored a 6.5 for this. And I made quite a dog's dinner of this because he needed to come up more through the pole. He was on his shoulders and it wasn't quite square. So I need to make sure that I give myself a wiggle before the next test. But he was such a good boy, bless him. He listened to me and he did exactly what I asked, which was the main thing. He's just such a genuinely kind boy. Okay, everyone, so that is novice 1, safe and sound and out of the way. The start was really good, felt really sweet, really nice. There were a couple of bits where I just felt I lost his attention a little bit, but I managed to accidentally go over a bit late anyway. So I literally had like no time to trot round. The minute I was in the arena, I just shouted, "I'm so sorry," at the judge, and Steph, the judge, was like, "Come on!" So she rang the bell the minute I stepped foot in that arena, so we were like, right, let's get going. So I didn't really have time to settle him into the arena, which was my own fault. I should have made sure we went over earlier. I should have kept a better eye on the time, really. But yeah, no, he felt really nice. There was a couple of bits where there were a few blips, like obviously the medium trots are still a work in progress, as they ever are, and there was one canter to trot transition where I just lost him before I should have held him together a bit more. Instead, I passengered and just kind of trusted he'd do it. And instead we broke rather than came back to the trot nicely. It was kind of a bleh into the trot. So we shall work on that. He was doing them so nice in the warm-up as well, which is a bit gutting. But no, he was really, really good. It certainly felt like a really nice test. I'm not sure if it was boom boom pow enough to get the good scores. We shall just see. We shall see. But either way, I'm really, really pleased with him. So I'm going to warm him up now for novice 3. Just giving him a little bit of a walk. And we're in about 20 minutes. So let's go. So I knew I needed to step up my game because I could just tell that it wasn't working, if you know what I mean. But in this warm-up, he already looks so much better. I'm feeling a bit more confident. It's all going well. But he's still looking a little bit on the shoulders. So that is something that I need to take back to my coaches and that I need to work on in myself as a rider, because even if you train with the same horse every single day, that horse will always change, and I need to be able to make sure that I'm a good enough rider to be able to ride whatever I am on top of. So he's being really good. He's being so patient with me. It's just unfortunate that his rider needs a slap. But before long, it was time to go back in for novice 3 and test breakdown as per usual, guys. You know it. It's time for our centre line, and we scored a 6.5 for this, and that's because there was a slight bit of wandering, and he was, you guessed it, on the shoulders. So I definitely know what I'm working on after this. Then MBF, working trot, and then at F we've got half circle right 10 metres diameter to D, returning to the track at B. Now we scored a 7 for this, and that's because it was an accurate loop, but we could have scored higher had he not been a little on the shoulders. Then at C, we've got a circle left 50 metres diameter, and we scored a 6.5 for this because he needs to be more off his shoulders and he's dropping the pole. So rather than me raising his shoulders, I'm asking him to come deeper, which is having a complete adverse effect. So I'm riding too much with my hands. I need to ride more from my seat and ride him from the back to the front, because at the minute I'm just riding all front and it's not working. Then for our medium trot, we scored a 6.5, and that's because it could have had more ground cover. And then between F and K, we've got transition to working canter right, and then KH showing some medium canter strides. Now we scored a 6 for this, and that's because he was a little bit tight to the canter and he was above the bit, and the medium was a bit modest. So we can definitely work on the transition because we've done so many that have been so nice before, and the medium canter, much like the medium trot, is a work in progress. So we've definitely got this to improve in the future. Then at C, we've got a circle right 20 metres diameter over X, transition to working trot, then pick up canter again. We've scored a 6.5 for that, and that's because we've lost the balance to the trot, and that's why we need to work on him having more engagement as well. Then for our single loop, 3 to 5 metres away from the track, we scored a 7 for this, which was really nice to see because as you saw, we were working on that in the warm-up, so we could probably improve that even more, hopefully. And then we've got KXM, change the rein and working canter, and X come to trot. We scored a 6.5 for this because he needs more engagement, and he was more engagement, more uphill, and he fell a bit in the transition. So that's basically where I'm just not having him working from behind, and that is really costing us marks today. Then MCHEK, working trot, and then at K we've got the half circle left 10 metres diameter to D, returning to the track at E. And we scored a 6.5 for this because he was on the shoulders and unsteady to the contact. So I just really need to work on making sure that I am riding him from his hind end rather than riding his front end. Alana needs a smack today. Then at C we've got a circle right 50 metres diameter, and we scored a 7 for this, which was really nice, and I was really trying to focus on the rhythm and making sure that was nice. And then MXK, we've got change the rein in medium trots, well, showing some medium trot strides, and we actually scored a 7 for this, so I was really happy to see that, and the judge's comment says slightly better, so yay, go us. Then we've got a transition to working canter, and then showing some medium canter strides, and we scored a 6.5 for this, and that's because we could offer more engagement to the canter, and it was a modest medium, but that is all to come in the future. We just need to build up the muscles for that. Then we've got a circle 20 metres diameter with the canter trot canter over X, and we scored a 6.5 for this because he was drifting out and he was a little bit hollow in the transition. So just need to work on that a little bit more. Then for our single loop, 3 to 5 metres away from the track, we scored a 7 for this, and the judges' comment says it was a fair loop. So I'm really happy with that, especially as before we were getting some comments on that it was unbalanced. So that is an area where we've gone away and improved. So that was really nice to see. Then we've got change the rein in working canter, X transition to working trot. We scored a 6.5 for this because he was on the hand in canter, so I'd let him fall in his shoulders again. Then at C, we've got transition to medium walk, which we scored a 7 for. And the judge's comment says fair stride and it needs a little bit more balance to rein. So the fact that there's something to improve on means that we can get better. Now, I was really happy with this free walk on a long rein, and it's a double marker, Alana, so don't mess it up. Never mind. So unfortunately we scored a 5.5 for that because it immediately tanked our score because I let him jog. I just got a bit too greedy in that walk. You need to let the horse flow through you, not push them too much. So that's on me. Then we've got turn down the centre line, D transition to working trot, and then at G halt immobility salute. We scored a 6.5 for that. The judge's comment says he was on the shoulders to trot and the pole was deep in the halt. So plenty to work on, plenty to improve on. It's not the end of the world. We can totally come back swinging from this because we know from these comments exactly what to do to get the better marks. Okay, so just a novice 3 on start, and to be honest, it didn't feel that cracking. Mum said he actually looked quite tired, so I probably overcooked him in the warm-up. We'll just wait and see what the score's at. So damn shame about the free walk on a long rein, doing a jog in that, but it is what it is, and we'll just find out. It's supposed to be fun, so let's just keep smiling. I don't know if I actually filmed any filler, but I'm on Ella now. Yay. Just warming her up at the minute. She feels a little bit behind the legs, so I'm going to do a few more transitions, but honestly she's feeling so good. Just need a nice calm go around, not looking for anything bougie, nothing like that. Just I'd like to keep our hair on if possible. I'm not practicing any of the changes because I know they can make her a bit tense, and what I want to do is make sure she goes into that relaxed and we pick up the marks where we can, because I'm not very hopeful that the change is going to score well. So we're just going to see. I'm hoping we get them. It's just going to happen. This is just a bit of a test drive. We're just having some fun, and I'm enjoying riding my girl, so we're just going to see how we get on. So this is me just warming Ella up now. The most important thing about today is that I literally have fun. I have this thing, especially when it comes to riding Ella, that I get really tense, and Ella really feeds off that. So I'm just trying to loosen up, take deep breaths, and just enjoy the ride. I was so looking forward to doing these tests, but again, really nervous. So one of my main focuses is to make sure I do lots of transitions, and then I'm going to do a little rein back here because I find that's quite good for getting Ella to actually utilise and use her back, because she's got to come over her back and step back. But then obviously because she's come a little bit too curled under, you can see me just giving the rein then and just trying to encourage her nose to come out a little bit more, because sometimes we do get a little bit too curled up. And then of course do my lateral work as we always do, and I want to make sure she's nice and supple. So doing the lateral work, and off my legs we're doing lots of transitions. But before long it was time to head into the arena, and I was just very nervous but super excited for what was to come. So test breakdown as per usual. I'll be riding advanced medium 3, and let's just get straight into it. So for our very first movement, it's A entering collected canter, X halt mobility salute, and the preceding collected trot X to C. Now I scored a 6.5 for this, and that is because if you look, she was just a little bit on her shoulders to the halt. So that is something I need to work on, that very first halt coming down from the canter. Then we've got C track right, then R we've got a volte right 10 metres diameter. Now volte is just circle, which is so fun when you get to advanced medium. So for this we scored a 6.5, and that was because there was a loss of balance and it needed a bit more bend at the start. So once again, something to be worked on, not the end of the world, but we can work on that. Then we've got a shoulder in right R to P, and we scored a 6 for that, and that was because it was a modest angle, and I was just doing my best to make sure that she was staying forward and throughout it. Then we've got half full to right 10 metres diameter, and then L to our half pass to the right. We scored a 6.5 for this, and that's because the judge wanted to see more collection and more balance to the rein. So our lateral work is definitely something that we can improve on for the future here. Then M, turn left, G, halt immobility, rein back 4 steps, proceed immediately in collected trot. Now we scored a 6.5 for this, and that was because our halt wasn't quite square, and the balance out of it was fair, but in the rein back it was a little bit lost. So once again, something to definitely work on. Then for our medium trot, we scored a 7, which I was very happy to see. We all know that that is my favourite move to ride on Ella. She always feels like she's just floating across there. And then we've got A, medium walk, A, K, V, medium walk. And we scored a 6.5 for this, and that was because she was coming a little hollow to the walk. So I just need to make sure that I'm getting a nice and over her back. And then V to R, we've got a 6.5 for her extended walk, which was a little bit of a shame because I know she's got such a good swingy walk in there. I just didn't show it off as well as I could have today. But she's been so good, she's listening to me really well, and it has been a while since we were back in the arena. So it's, you know, I'm having a good time, and she's been such a good girl. Then RMG, collected walk between G and H, half pirouette to the left. Now walk pirouettes, everybody knows, are the bane of every dressage rider's existence. They're just not fun. And I scored a 6.5 for that one. That's because it needed a bit more collection, so I was letting her walk get on a bit too much anymore. So I need to make sure that I bring it back for that collected walk. Then for a half pirouette to the right, we only scored a 6 for this, and that's because there was a loss of activity and bend. So I really need to make sure that I'm working on those walk pirouettes, despite the fact that I hate them. Then at G, we've got proceed in collected trot, turn left, and then S, we've got a 10 metre volte to the left, and we scored a 7 for this. So on the left rein, Ella is clearly a little bit more balanced, so I need to watch and make sure that I'm working just as hard on the right rein as I am on the left rein. Then we've got our shoulder in, which we scored a 7 for, so the lateral work is stronger on the left rein as well. Then we've got our half volte left with the half pass to the left, and we scored a 6.5 for this, and that was because Ella could close up more and it was a little bit unbalanced. So I'm letting her get too long and strung out. I need to take a half halt and just ask her to cross nicely across on that half pass. Then MXK, we've got our extended trot. Now, for this one, we only scored a 6.5, which was a bit of a shame because I really enjoyed riding that. So the judge wanted to see more engagement for the extension, so I need more activity from behind. But for the transitions at M and K, we scored a 6.5, and then into the canter, we scored a 7, which was really nice because she stepped nicely up into it. So now we've got our very first flying change coming up, and we scored a 6 for this, and that was because the hind legs were together and the collection was lost. But we know the changes are what they are. We're working on it. Then we scored a 6 for our canter overall because the self-carriage and collection was a bit lost. But for our half pass, we scored a 6.5, and that's because she sped up and lost collection. So you can see where the changes are causing Ella to go a bit wee. Then for our next flying change, we scored a 4 for that, and that was because it wasn't clean and we lost collection. But like I said, the flying changes are a work in progress. Then for that flying change, we scored a 6 for that, which was really nice to see. We could have got more had she not been on the hand and hollowed, but we know we're working on it. Then for our next flying change, we scored a 6 for this again, but once again our collection just let us down a bit, and that's where Ella still finds the flying changes really exciting. And then for our collected canter overall, we scored a 6, and that's because she needs to close up a bit more. But then for our half pass, we scored a 6.5, and we could have got more had I just asked for a bit more bend and suppleness. Then we've got our extended canter down the long side, and we scored a 6.5 for this, and the judges wanted to see a little bit more ground cover. But then for the transitions at H and K and the collected canter, we scored a 6.5, and that's because the judge wanted to see her come back a bit more and have a bit more collection. And then lastly, we've got our final halt, and down the centre line, we scored a 6.5 for this, and that's because we weren't quite square. But considering how good she was, I do not mind. She was so good! Oh, do you know what? I'm not even bothered what the score is. That felt like she actually did somewhat come back to me between the changes, and they came up so thick and fast for her. I'm so proud of her. I feel a bit emotional, but I'm not allowing myself to cry because we've still got another one to go yet. If it all goes terrible, then I don't want to have too much. But oh, I'm so proud of her. She is such a good girl. I completely jump scared her with those changes, and she was just like, yeah, I'm we can do him. I mean, I think my arse left the saddle like quite a number of times. But I'm so proud of her. So now I've got to learn the second one. Yeah, so let's see how that one goes. So this is just me here doing my best to learn my tests. Obviously with riding 4 tests a day, I know the pros would scoff at that. They ride much more than that in a singular day. I would get lost coming out my own bedroom. So I have just made sure that I learn each test kind of, and then before each test go through it, make sure I proper know it. So this is me and Ella just warming up again. I do not want to make her too knackered, but as you can see, I've already taken a little bit on board. Like, I had the feeling of what the judge was saying, what Steph was saying, because she's looking much more collected here, and she could probably come even a little bit more collected. What is our undoing is when we do flying changes and Ella goes yippee. So unfortunately guys, I do not have the footage of the next test. It got way too dark and the video footage, you can barely see anything. So I'm just going to take you straight into my post-ride talk. So we've just done advanced medium 3. I am not bothered what the scores are. I'm so proud of her. She's such a good girl. Obviously there's plenty to improve on, but she's not been at this level since she lost her eye and she's had a year off, and we're finally getting back to where we were, and I'm just really proud of her. She's such a good girl. I told you guys I was gonna cry. Okay. I'm just really pleased and really proud of her. She's just such a good girl. I don't know whether I'm laughing or crying. I just love this horse so much. Right guys, so that is the competition day officially all finished. I'm just currently doing all of the yard jobs, getting everybody mucked out. Dave says hello everyone. So yeah, the scores are all in, and Dave and Start scored lovely, bless him. He scored 65 and 66, which aren't the best, not what we normally get, but to be fair, I think I probably made a miscalculation in doing Ella's first advanced medium at the same time as trying to compete Star. I feel like all of my concentration probably went to doing the later tests, and I just wasn't focusing and I wasn't riding as well as I could have been on Star. So that's on me, and I need to work on my planning for the future and making sure that concentration is always at its 100%. And Ella was such a good girl. I'm still absolutely buzzing after Ella, bless her, but she scored 263s in both the tests, so I'm really pleased with that. And some of the changes even scored 6s, which was really good considering I was expecting 4s and 5s. So I'm dead pleased with Ella, little bless her. So she's got 2 qualifying scores for the Area Festival's advanced medium. So I'm absolutely buzzing. Dave, I'm trying to do an outro, babes. So yeah, really pleased with both horses. They were absolute angels, and I just need to make sure that I'm riding the best that I can. So we'll carry on training. I'll be taking both my sheets to Jill and Katie to be able to look over and work on what we David, that's no. To be able to work on what we need to work on. So yeah, it's been a really good day at the office. I'm so proud of the pair of them. And David, it will be your turn soon. As soon as you crack that left canter, you're in that ring, mate. Stop it. So yes, so that is all from me today, guys. I super hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I know I've enjoyed making this video for you and taking you along with me for the day. If you haven't already, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is going to be uploaded. And yeah, so from me and all the horses, it is goodbye.